Good morning, folk. Good morning. Welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA video. Today we're going to be covering the Bitcoin dominance chart, and we're looking at the monthly time frame, so a bit more of a zoomed out perspective. And we're going to be looking at some of the correlations it has with Bitcoin, with the altcoin market, and why it's such an important chart to keep our eyes on. And this is something that I didn't really previously look at, and I was always comparing alt pairs to Bitcoin. Alt pairs to USD and to stable coins, and not really looking at the alt pairs compared to Bitcoin, and how this Bitcoin dominance chart plays a massive sort of eye-opening look into what it means for Bitcoin and altcoins moving forward. So what we're going to be looking at here is some of the patterns that we've noticed for the Bitcoin dominance. What this generally means is when Bitcoin dominance is coming down, you're seeing money flow out of Bitcoin into altcoins and stable coins, for example. And when this chart is sort of increasing and going up in nice runs, this is where Bitcoin dominance is growing and people are actually moving away from altcoins into and stable coins into Bitcoin. Now, there's many charts that we can look at. We can look at the total market cap. There's a few of those that we can look at, excluding and including Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that, okay, which I can do in another video for you guys, but today we are specifically going to talk about the Bitcoin dominance. So what you can see that is from September of 2022, the Bitcoin dominance chart has gone up in a nice rally throughout into 2023. The DXY, the BTC dominance has gone up, whilst Bitcoin again in September 2022, you know, we came down this correction, and then again we sort of rallied throughout the whole of 2023 so far. So you can see that the Bitcoin dominance has been growing up, and the price of Bitcoin has also been going up as people are moving away from their altcoin pairs into Bitcoin for stability during a time as harsh as the ones we are in now. So what does this mean? Well, there's been bullish signs for the Bitcoin dominance, and there's three things that could play out here. There's three ways that this could go. Okay, so the Bitcoin dominance has been growing up and Bitcoin's price has been going up. Okay, so that's one way that this can go, and altcoins have been going down. Okay, other than a fair few, you know, majority of altcoins have been negatively running against Bitcoin. And what this means is that the dominance is high. Bitcoin's strength is relatively strong at the moment because people are choosing it over other sources of assets to hold. And we could be looking at Bitcoin's price either appreciating with the dominance as this increases, because I've got technical targets up here around 57%, previous low of support, which we haven't backtested as resistance. So I am looking for this chart to sort of rally back up into this area here. And if it does do that, we could see an increase in Bitcoin. But we could also see at the same time Bitcoin going sideways whilst the dominance is increasing and alt still crashing. That's one scenario. A second scenario, we could see altcoins start to pick up from their lows and the dominance top out here and start to roll over, and this would be a good indication, okay, that it's time to, we are a bit toppy on this chart, and we are looking to come back, and potentially altcoins are going to have a bit more of a rally, and more money is going to flow out of Bitcoin into them. So there's a lot of scenarios that could really happen here. Okay, so it's a very again, it's not solely a chart I would use to indicate which way I think Bitcoin's going to go and altcoins are going to go, but it's a good indicator to use, a good chart to use, with other indicators pointing towards a better overall view of the market. So again, I haven't done too much looking at the charts here. What we're going to do is go over some patterns. Okay, so you can see that what we've got, okay, we came down in this massive wave, okay, and this is where selling pressure started depleting. Okay, we was holding these lows, higher lows with lower highs. Okay, so you could say that this did look like some sort of bear flag, okay, which was going to continue down, lose support, hit its head and continue on. Okay, and if this would have happened, altcoins in crypto would have literally started to take off. Bitcoin would have probably would have crashed, and altcoins would have had a bit of an alt run, because when this happens, okay, when we had this massive crash for the Bitcoin dominance in 2021, altcoins were fuming off into crazy highs, absolutely crazy highs, almost artificial to some, I would say, artificially pumped up. But again, when this is coming down in big waves, if this was to have started to roll over here, the crypto market would have started to pick up, and the altcoins would have picked up. But again, that didn't happen, and this has broken out. Bitcoin has appreciated, altcoins have depreciated or put in new lows against Bitcoin, whilst Bitcoin is probably outperforming a lot of the assets. This is why this chart is so important, okay? Because when the Bitcoin dominance chart is rising, it indicates to us it's a bad time to be holding altcoins. It's a good time to find some stability in Bitcoin, okay? Because even if Bitcoin can come down 5%, guys, okay, and Bitcoin can start to come down. If Bitcoin comes down 5%, you're going to see your alts crash at least 15, 20% on some of them. Maybe some even more, depending on the lower cap of the coin, you know? So it's very important to keep an eye on this chart. And again, at the moment, I do have targets up here at 57% at this previous level of support, okay, which you came up from, you lost. Right now, you coiled up, selling pressure's gone, you've broken out, coming back for support on this green level of support here. Okay, right now we're holding and we're looking for the breakout to 57%. And altcoins, I think this is where the reckoning would actually happen for altcoins, and altcoins would crash really badly here and have one last final wave down into a really bad depressive state before finding their lows. So this could be an indicator when this starts to, if this starts to rally up to 57%, be careful of your altcoin bags, because this could indicate that they are going to come down. They still have further to drop. And also because of the pre-halving for Bitcoin, the pre-halving years, technically the second half of the pre-halving year is historically a bad time for crypto as a whole. And Bitcoin does sort of come in for a bit more of a retracement. And again, this could indicate, okay, Bitcoin could stay around the price as it is and hover around sideways, and this could still go up. Okay, so Bitcoin doesn't have to appreciate for this to appreciate. Okay, but what this could indicate is wherever the Bitcoin price is at this time, if this chart reaches up to these levels, could be a good sign to get out of Bitcoin and get back into your alts, because this is going to be looking for a retracement at that point. I do think this is a very impulsive wave. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, whatever the situation is, altcoins are risky and remain risky until the Bitcoin dominance starts to top out. When this happened here for Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance in 2018 to 2019, we had a massive bear market. Okay, so you can see this insane run was a bear market for Bitcoin and for crypto. Okay, now that we started something very similar here, this little insane run here, if this can continue, we are going to see altcoins and crypto, potentially Bitcoin as well, come down and hopefully not put in new lows, but retrace. So I hope you enjoyed the content, guys. That's a little sort of tutorial in regards to the Bitcoin dominance. I'm sorry if I was a bit confusing in some parts. Again, this is my first video back for a while. I hope everyone is well. Take care. All the best from ChartNerd TA. Peace out.